Ah, Valentine's Day. The day of chocolate and candy. The day of flowers and bouquets. The day of spending quality time either by yourself with a fuzzy little animal or your partner. But we're actually not going to be talking about any of that. Today we're actually going to be talking about a couple of video games that I personally have fell in love with over the years. And yeah, that's about it. So, roll. Corny intros aside, couple of things before we actually jump into it. First, I would love to give a shout out to my roommate for giving me this idea, or actually just straight up suggesting it, so kudos to him. Second, shout out to my fiance, I love you, and I hope to see you soon. And third of all, for those of you who may be looking for a romantic interest, my only little bit of advice, if I'm allowed to give advice, would be yourself. It is cliche, but it really is the easiest thing to do. You shouldn't put up a persona just for someone else. You should be your true self. But with all that quick stuff out of the way, let's jump into it. So, the first game that I wanted to talk about probably is pretty obvious at this point, and that is Assassin's Creed. And I don't mean just one of them. I mean, was gonna say all of them, but most of them. There were some stumbling blocks, but rest assured, I still love Assassin's Creed. I love the history behind it, I love the stealth gameplay, and just love the different settings that you get to experience, and just, even in these more recent games, the visuals that you get to see, and I just love everything about it. It's probably one of the oldest franchises that I love. And moving on to the next one is probably, well, not that they're in any particular order, but the next game that I wanted to talk about mention briefly, was actually a game that my fiance got me into, and so it has made this list, and it is Fallout. My first experience with Fallout was Fallout 4, which I know may not be the greatest place to start, depending on how hardcore of a fan you are of the Fallout games, but it was the first one I experienced, and I loved it, and my fiance got me into it, so just makes everything a whole lot better. Alright, and I know we're shooting through these pretty quick, but actually, before I continue, one thing that I did want to mention is, if I want to hear from you guys to see what kind of video games that you love and what video games you fell in love with over the years as well. So please leave a comment down below. I will be down there talking to you guys as much as I can. And with that little announcement out of the way, continuing with our list, I guess you want to call it. Probably next on that list, again in no particular order, is Dark Souls 3, actually. That's the only one I've played. Dark Souls 3, I have a very complicated relationship with. Love the game to death, excellent visuals, very good gameplay, just extremely frustrating. I love to hate it, I guess is the best way I can put it. And if you haven't played Dark Souls, or at least given it a try, it is very intimidating, but don't let that fool you. Charge ahead and take some risks and go try it out. Actually, again, very good game, just immensely frustrating sometimes. But segueing into the next one that I want to talk about, this was kind of one not really out of left field, but hey, that is left. Not really out of left field, but still just kind of something that I would not have normally played, and that is actually The Witcher 3. I gave Witcher 3 a chance, a couple years ago now at this point. I guess I don't know when it came out specifically, but I fell in love with it almost instantly. Actually, I take that back. I tried it for a little bit, thought it was really hard and really annoying, and so I actually returned it. And then that was actually around the time Assassin's Creed Unity came out, which is an okay one. But I returned it, and then a year or so later I actually gave it another try after I had played Dark Souls, and that had actually helped out quite a bit in terms of paying more attention to where you are and what you're doing, instead of just trying to straight hack and slash through everything, which tends to get you dead more often than not. But for The Witcher 3, love the story, love the visuals, love the gameplay. Really just... It's an amazing game that if you have not tried it and not seen anything about it, I could definitely recommend going after that game. Like I said, once I gave it a second chance, it was an amazing game that I fell in love with, and the story, it was a good one. And with the dialogue options, you can actually change the story, which made it that much better. And moving on, and this probably is... I was gonna say my favorite game series, slash most in love series, I suppose, but that might be a lie. It's really just kind of a toss-up between any of these. But, the last one is actually the Uncharted games. I loved those from the very beginning. I vaguely remember when I played the first one. I can't remember if I played the first one or the second one first, but either way, whichever one I ended up playing first, I fell in love with instantly. It reminded me a lot of Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford, and I loved those movies, and I think that's a big portion as to why I loved the Uncharted games. I call it a modern Indiana Jones. But regardless, epic story, epic visuals, love all of the characters involved, with Sully, Drake, and just everyone in the game. But anywho, so those are just a couple of games that I fell in love with as soon as I played them, or pretty quickly after I played them. And so now I want to hear what your guys' favorite games are down below. Feel free to leave a comment, tell me what your favorite game is. Do you agree with any of my picks? Do you not agree? Just talk to me down in the comments, anything and everything about the games that you love and still love to play to this day. Oh, actually, a quick little runner-up would actually be Lego Star Wars. Loved that game. Way too much fun to even describe. I kind of want to play that now. Besides the point, so, any comments, leave those down below. Tell me your favorite game down below as well. If you like this video, if the intro was super cheesy, hit that thumbs up button, and I will greatly appreciate it. And if you like seeing my face, if you really like the type of videos that I am trying to do, please subscribe, and remember to ring that little bell so you know when I post new videos. And if I ever get into the habit of streaming consistently, you will also be notified when I start streaming. But with all of that being said, as per usual, this is 3G Geek signing off. Happy Valentine's Day. I love your faces, even though I can't see them. Oh, cheesy intro, cheesy ending. There's just no winning with me. But either way, peace.